All right, y'all. So the case that will never end, okay? The Tory Lanez versus Megan Thee Stallion. All right, he's on his appeal. Okay. Originally, I planned on doing another video because I thought since they threw out most of the new evidence that he was cooked. I thought he was cooked. I was like, oh no, oh god, he's done. So I had the thumbnail done and everything, and then I get to the appeal and I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna go the way that I think it's gonna go. Maybe he actually has a really good chance of getting free. So I'm gonna play two videos for y'all so y'all can listen. We'll talk about each of them when they're done. And y'all let me know what y'all are thinking.
Are you arguing that any time a witness is subject to a body attachment, that should be, that any reference to that witness should be off limits in opening statement?
I think that the prosecutor should be extra careful in such a situation because they're going into this knowing that that witness is not cooperative. So I think that if they say that they hope to produce such a witness, that perhaps would be enough. But here, there was just no hesitation. And I think it's especially true in the case of the evidence that we're dealing with Mr. Peterson, that it was a confession.
And so what was the evidence or indication that the people did not have a reasonable good faith belief that they would be able to produce Mr. Edison at trial?
We actually have no proof of the district attorneys ever speaking to Mr. Edison. The defense was never provided of a copy of any interview that they conducted on this witness. We have no physical evidence. All we have is an email from the district attorney in this case that said, I didn't disclose this and I meant to disclose it, but we are going to call this witness who will say that Mr. Peterson confessed to him. So I honestly, despite my best investigations, we cannot find where this statement came from. We cannot ascertain the veracity of these statements. That's why I think it's inappropriate. I don't think it's always inappropriate. But in this case, with these particular facts, I do feel that it's inappropriate.
So basically what she's saying is the persecution did persecutional misconduct. Okay. And I have to enunciate my words here because I end up sounding like I'm saying something else. All right. And I'm going to say this here, right? They did, bro. Like he in the next video, she also gets to talking about how they were getting new evidence like every day. Like, oh, we forgot to give you this, oh, we forgot to give you that. You got to realize, like, to build an adequate defense, the persecution has to give you everything that they plan on bringing up. And just like with that interview of that guy, you know what I'm saying? They tell him it was it was too late to actually review the information, prepare a adequate defense, you know what I'm saying, poke holes in the narrative. Like he wasn't able to be ready. Mr. Edison, okay, is Megan Thee Stallion's bodyguard. Mr. Edison is Megan Thee Stallion's bodyguard. Not Tory Lanez's bodyguard, not some random bodyguard or somebody else. He's Megan Thee Stallion's bodyguard. He also has a vested interest in her well-being because it's part of his employment. He's employed by her. Like you can't. And then they're saying it was a confession. He confessed to that guy, but did he? Did they still haven't produced that? And then they argue. They argue that the phone call, right, was a confession. He could also very well be apologizing for, hey, I'm sorry for cheating on you. You know, I'm sorry for smashing your friend. I'm sorry that I in my drunkenness brought out that and caused y'all to fight and just caused this whole thing to happen because I was firing off at the mouth, basically, because I was feeling myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm over there with Kylie in the pool. I'm over here, over there, and I'm just doing too much. I'm doing too much, and you know, I apologize for that. That easily could be apologized. He never once said that. And here's the thing though: if you have love for somebody, you can be extremely sorry for that particular thing because you didn't mean to do it, quote unquote, but you know what I mean. Like he did it, and that's what I fully believe. I fully believe that he was apologizing for that, not necessarily for shooting her. And then let's get into this next video.
I feel that it would have really tipped those scales to reasonable doubt to find that Mr. Peterson was innocent. And that's why today we humbly, humbly pray for exoneration of Mr. Daystar Peterson.
Thank you very much.
And key witnesses in the case, Mr. Sean Hawley, who gave testimony, we're attempting to get a copy of his 911 call.
Wait,
which
you said Sean Hawley?
Sean Kelly.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I say we're referring to
very
counsel who's female. Okay.
Yeah, no, very close. Yes, Sean Hawley was the attorney. Sean Kelly was the witness.
Okay, got it.
Different spellings also. So obviously we can see that this is favorable. The second question under that three-part analysis with Strickler was it suppressed willfully or accidentally? Yes. This evidence was suppressed. All of these different pieces to where Mr. Medesian said, I feel like every day I wake up and I have an email from either the night before or the morning of saying, oh, we missed giving you this. And very respectfully, I say that. And the final component of this three-prong test is, would it have changed the outcome of the trial? Yes. Absolutely. If our jury could have heard the full picture, the full accurate picture of just the evidence being laid out as it was, without these don't be fooled and, late discovery, I feel that it would have really tipped those scales to reasonable doubt to find that Mr. Peterson was innocent. And that's why today we humbly, humbly pray for exoneration of Mr. Daystar Peterson.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So yeah, then there's also a piece of this where she ends up bringing up the fact that the DNA evidence, that's the second part of that pre-prong test that he's talking about, that DNA evidence for the gun, the fingerprint and all that. Like his fingerprints weren't even on the gun, and it wasn't like he was wearing gloves. The man just got out of a pool. Why would he have gloves on? He didn't even have a shirt on. He just had trunks on. Like that's it. That's all he had was trunks and some shoes. Trunks and shoes. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know like how you would handle a weapon, and you know what I'm saying? You fire it and your fingerprint's not on it. I don't know. I've shot plenty weapons, you know what I'm saying, from AR-15s to a hunting rifle, crossbow, a bow, like an actual composite bow. I'm telling you, without being honest, out of a doubt, if you want to accurately fire that weapon, handguns as well, you want to accurately fire that weapon, you have to have your hand on it all the way. To even fire it, to pull the trigger and it go off multiple times, like you have got to have a good hold on it, at least with one hand. At least you have to. You have to. So there's no way it's coming back inconclusive. Even if, let's say, he was in the pool for like hours, right? And his fingers are all pruny or whatever, like it's still gonna leave a fingerprint on there. Matter of fact, you're gonna leave some skin on it. Hello. So I don't get it, but I fully believe that he's gonna be exonerated, man. Not exonerated. I think they'll grant him a new trial. It's a high probability, and I think they will. Even though the panel is only 4 judges and not the full 5. I guess one of them's sick or something. I think so. By the time y'all get this video, obviously he'll be back in court again. We might have a resolution sometime today, if not Wednesday. So make sure y'all tap in, like, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I've been keeping up with the trial for the most part. I think in all fairness, exoneration, I think that's crazy. Like and I want to be clear here. I think exoneration is crazy. I think he deserves to get a new trial with all evidence presented. Everything. Leave no stone left unturned. Give him opportunity to have everything presented. Y'all present everything. No funny business. No games. Put it back in front of a jury. And if he's convicted again, sit there and rot, bro. Sit there and rot. Sit there and rot. But I'm not for playing funny games to get a conviction. Get a conviction. Okay? I'm not for that. For anybody. So even if this was the case of somebody I knew personally, if this was Megan, like I'd or Kelsey, I'd want this to be like fully open. Here's all the evidence. Here's every bit of information you're supposed to have. You could put up an adequate defense. No, like maybe not. Oh well, there's this and there's that, and all these people that didn't testify that was like the bodyguard that was there. He didn't even. What are we talking about? Huh? Yeah, let's get this done. Let's get it done. Let's do what's supposed to be done. And let's get it all out there. No immunity for her testimony. Because I need to know why Kelsey and Megan was fighting. If the witness from his balcony, okay, or window watched them fight, okay, it's to be trusted that he also saw Tory Lanez with the gun, right? Because everybody points to the part where he says Tory Lanez had the gun. But then we don't talk about the fighting. Then we don't talk about the woman went back to the vehicle first either. Like, we have to talk about all of it together as one. If he's to be trusted, there is a portion of what's going on that ain't being talked about. And I want that exposed fully. No immunity, no nothing. And if all in all, if this ends in both Kelsey and Tory going to jail for like inadvertently like hurting her, like accidental assault, because they were fighting with a weapon, okay, cool, they both are in jail. I could take that scenario versus just him being in jail or just her being in jail. I'm just being honest. Even though his intentions were good, if you do assault someone or lead to a firearm going off, it is what it is. And then also, there's no way he could have held the gun up in the air, fired off a bunch of shots, and he not leave residue or DNA evidence on the gun. Hey, that is what it is. Again, the persecution, they were pointing to, that phone call, that was a confession. No, it was not. And you can't put words into somebody's mouth like that. I don't like that. You can't go, oh, he's definitely confessing and apologizing for the crime. That's not how that works. Unless it's explicitly stated, you cannot imply that is the total reason when there's other viable reasons of what he could be apologizing for. Anyway, I'm up out of here. Like, comment, subscribe.